Lovely good evening and welcome to Love Therapy. We continue to explore issues that are so close to families and how best we can have a society that in a way is problem-free. I know it's not even possible to say we will live without problems. I remember Dr. Chunga some time back saying the devil is still alive, and so you expect some of these things to happen. But then, can we have a breather as we move along before we eventually get to heaven? That's the idea, and that's the reason why we give you these doses on love therapy. Today, we move an extra mile as we try to provide solutions to what we established last week to say it's a problem. And because it is a problem, can we find a way of preventing that particular problem? Simply put, how can we prevent divorce or prevention of divorce? I'm Bright Sinkers. My guest on the program, as always, Dr. Daniel Chunga. Do you have another name, Doc?
No, I just have one name.
Daniel.
Daniel.
There is no...
Your name?
Yeah.
No.
I wanted to capitalize on that one, but it's fine.
I'm the 8th born.
Okay, so they ran out of
in
names.
a family of 10, so they ran out of names. Yeah.
I wish you were like me. I have quite a number of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand why, but I have quite a lot.
They're all Aussie names?
It's a mixture of Lozi and Ndebele.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's get to know some of them.
Which one? The
name?
The Ndebele name is Makuten.
Makuten.
Yes.
Not Nomalanga. Okay.
Aye.
And the Lozi one?
The Lozi name is Chiteta.
Chiteta.
It's actually Mbunda, not really Lozi.
Oh,
Yeah, it is Mbunda.
Mbunda. Chiteta.
Yes.
Oh, that's a royal name.
It is.
Yeah.
Very. But I mean, it's royalty from both sides on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In Zimbabwe, associated to royalty. In Zambia, associated to royalty. So you are seated with a prince.
Oh, I see. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So today, Doc, we thought we should move a direction that is giving hope, because I realized last week we really stressed on this is a problem. Yes, it's a problem, but at the end of the day, we are more like trying to depress the already depressed. So today we try to give them hope and show them that there is light at the end of the tunnel. But the question is, are we able to see that? That's the question.
Oh, yes. They put it this way, that prevention is better than cure. Divorce can be prevented.
Oh, yeah.
If the two are willing. And one of the most important decisions that a couple needs to put in place concerning prevention of divorce is commitment.
Commitment.
Commitment is critical.
Commitment to what?
To marriage.
Okay.
You must have this big picture of marriage. You must keep your eyes on the ball. You know, I played football.
Really?
Yes, I played football.
A striker, defender.
I was striking, also goalkeeping. I was trying.
Okay.
Also,
we're close. I was once a goalkeeper and a defender.
So we are taught in football, when you are the defender and the striker comes with a ball, he'll shake.
Yes.
He'll go this way. You are taught, keep your eyes
on the ball.
Because if he shakes his body, you'll go with the body and you'll kick the opposite direction.
That's true.
It's a goal. So you keep your eyes on the ball. So for those who are getting into the institution of marriage, there must be commitment.
Okay.
Keeping your eyes on the ball. Whether they shake around, you keep your eyes on this big picture that mine is marriage. It's for better, for worse. In health, or sickness, in sunshine or shadow, in adversity or prosperity, forsaking any other. When you go into marriage with commitment, no reverse gear, ever forward. When you go into such a relationship, you are bound to go far. Come what may, you are committed to this lifetime relationship. We have people who go into marriage who even say, if it can't work, I'll back off. Now, you don't go into marriage that way because problems are always there in marriage.
Okay.
And the marriage does not eliminate problems.
That's a strong one, though.
Yes. So when you are in it, be committed. Keep your eyes on the ball. I think that is the most important prevention. You must be committed to this lifetime relationship. There will be voices here and there. Be committed.
Be committed.
They say a blind husband and a deaf woman, wife, are the happiest. A deaf husband and a blind wife are the happiest. Keep your eyes on this ball. Don't hear what other people are talking. No third parties. You are just there, committed. You put your hands on the plow of marriage and you move on. These parents that we have heard, they have married for 50 years, they have been together for 55 years. It's not an easy road because marriage is a school where you can graduate. You keep learning every day. There are surprises, so you must be committed. So commitment is the most important thing for those who don't want to experience divorce. Another remedy or prevention for divorce is basically contentment.
Okay.
Now, when we talk about contentment, we are talking about being satisfied with your choice. Among many men, among many women, you chose for that one. That's the one who caught your heart, who caught your eyes, who caught your attention. So be satisfied with your choice. We are living in a world of www.com. Wako ni wako. No wonder Angela Nyirenda sang a song, Chalo, Chwana na wako. Yes. So be satisfied with your choice. Among men, you picked that one. So just brighten the corner where you are. Be satisfied.
Is it easy for women?
They say the beautiful ones are not yet born. The handsome ones
Not yet
are
born.
not yet born. That's one writer who wrote a book, The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet What? Born. So you just have to be contented with what you chose. Keep yourself within that box of love.
There is also a secular song that says, Sankachabe palivipuva. So utilize what is available and be content with it. But then contentment, Doc, is it an easy thing really to practice? Because a number of times you are content this minute, the next minute something backfires and you start regretting. Are you then trying to say that if you have to keep your home, if you have to keep your marriage, regardless of what comes your way, just ignore the rest and say, this is what I chose?
Correct. I think that's a point. You know, they say grass is greener on the other side of the fence on 2 grounds. One, maybe the grass is far from you. Or there is a sewer spillage where the grass is greener.
I'm getting it, Doc.
And so
you are admiring what you don't know.
Correct. So be satisfied with that woman, be satisfied with that husband. Of course, there are some times when couples, they marry, they become careless, they become obese, they are not attractive, maybe because children come, and there are others who just think, after all, I'm already married. You must do some makeups. You must polish up so that you are still marketable to your partner. You must keep appearances.
I love that one, Doc,
Yes.
because we've seen a number of times, especially our women, the moment they are stepping out, they want to apply powder, but when they come back to their husband, they don't even care. They remove the wig, remove the powder, and it's like for them, let the world see the beautiful side of you, but when you come home, you don't care about your looks.
They're in wrappers.
Yeah.
They don't comb their hair. You have to keep up appearance. The competition is stiff. And this is what we are saying. One way you can prevent divorce is to be satisfied. There are people who are married and they say, I wish I knew this is how you are. I would not have married you. Or if only I had known.
Yeah.
Now, there
Or
are
if I
regrets.
listened to what the other person was telling me.
If I listened to what my father told me, maybe
I would
I
have
should not
avoided
have
this.
married you. But now that is history. The moment you say, I do, you swallow everything. Bitter or sweet pills. You just swallow and just move on and say, this is bone of my bones.
Flesh of my
This
flesh.
is flesh of my flesh. Come what may. This one is
But
mine.
implication, Doc, are we saying there is nothing like this one was right from creation made specifically for you, and this one specifically for the other?
Well, yeah, depending on how, at what level you are standing. If you have problems, you are likely to say, this one
Was not meant for me.
And when life is sweet, is good, that you say, this one was meant for me. I think whether you didn't involve God, whether you used the underhand methods in getting that partner, the moment you are joined together, God approves of that union.
Okay.
And God will not say, because this is not the rib I made for you, you are free to divorce. Then we'll be blaming God for the divorces that are taking place. The moment you make a decision, the moment you walk in the church and say, I do, the moment the Father gives her to you, the journey begins there. Whatever you find on the way is yours. No wonder Bemba say, "Uingira mumushitu." To influence one. Once you are there, just go in the mud and go forward.
At wadida mvula wadida matope.
Walira mvula, walira matope. Wangena mosoni kumgera.
But here's the situation, Doc.
Tonga they say, "Okara mpokede."
Doc, let's quickly get back to the Bible and look at a scenario where is it Jacob who was given Leah first? Then he had to work for Rachel, whom he loved. I'm thinking, if you are saying my choice is endorsed by God, but in an event that somehow I just pick along the way, for example, because of pregnancy, she's not the one that I wanted to marry, but because I've impregnated her, then I am given this lady, even when I still thought I have to choose from what is available away from this one that I have damaged. Would we say at this particular time God still endorses and say, fine, you've already been given, take it? I am putting this in the shoes of Jacob, who denied to say, no, I didn't vouch for this one, so I'm going to work another 7 years to get the one that I want.
Okay, the story of Jacob getting married to two wives, Leah and Rachel, His choice was Rachel.
Okay.
And he toiled for her 7 years. And in the process, he was dribbled.
Yeah.
According to traditions, they said you cannot get married to the
Second one before the first one is, yeah.
instead of the older one. And in that drama, Jacob is dribbled and ends up getting into a polygamous relationship. That is descriptive, meaning it is describing what happened. It was not a norm that one should get into polygamy.
Yeah.
However, the point is, according to the Bible, the woman that you sleep with first, you are supposed to marry that lady. And sometimes society demands that because this lady is damaged, she's pregnant, and you already have a child, why do you want to leave her? The family will say, no, you need to look after your child. Just marry. And when you marry in those circumstances, and you are not coerced, and you accept yes, just go ahead. Whatever challenges you meet, solve them. Don't refer that after all, you are not meant for me. You just go forward in that decision without any reverse. But the bottom line we are talking about now is being contented with the choice that you make in life. You move on with her and get on. Another prevention measure is the issue of compromise. Remember, we're just looking at CCC.
Sure.
Contentment. We started with commitment. Then contentment. Then compromise. Now, compromise is giving in when the principle is not at stake. You know, there are many couples who fight for nothing. Just to fight, they just like fighting, even over a pillow. This is your pillow, same color of pillow. Now, even if fight, no, you should sleep in this side, no, you should sleep in this side. They quarrel. Let's go to ShopRite. No, let's go to Pick and Pay. A fight ensues. Now, what is important?
This is tomato. No, it's tomato.
Yeah, you start fighting. I read the story of a couple that was driving. Yeah. And as they were driving, the husband pointed at the house. Look at that house, honey. It looks cute. But the problem I have is that I wish the veranda was on the eastern direction. Then the wife responds and says, no, honey, the way the house is okay. As ladies, we don't want the kitchen to be on the western direction because of the sun. Then the husband advances and said, you know what? I have done architectural engineering. I understand these issues on an academic level. Then the wife said, well, I've never gone to school to learn about housing, but throughout my life, I've lived in a house. And I'm capable of telling which house is better. The dispute was so tense that the couple decided to keep quiet. Both of them tensed up. The husband said, why are we fighting?
Yeah, it's not our house.
It's not even our house. We are wasting time. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Yeah. So we are talking about compromise. Compromise is giving in for the sake of your partner. Not that you are weak, not that you have no voice, but you are simply saying, for the sake of moving on, let's go.
Let's go.
Here you are, you have 10,000 kwacha. The wife is insisting we need to buy a stove. But the husband is saying, no, we need to buy a television set. Soccer is starting this week. Since we have this money, let's buy a TV. If you put that item to a vote, it will be one vote. West still revolt. It will be One vote,
To see
one
the
vote.
same.
So what do? One of you
Has to
should
give in.
give in for the sake of what? Moving on. So we must know in our homes what to fight for. There are some things that you just have to wink and move on. Ignore. Are we together?
Yes, Doc.
They say women folk talk more than men. And if you are going to respond to everything your wife is talking about, you'll be in trouble. Sometimes you keep quiet. And when you keep quiet, you ask you, why are you quiet? But all in all, compromise is giving in for the sake of your partner. You know, lack of compromise has led couples to divorce because someone thinks I'm nobody in the home. But when you swallow your pride and give in, you move on. Someone says, it is good you lose your pride to the one you love than to lose the one you love because of pride.
Now that's a strong statement. Love therapy. Today's dose, how to prevent divorce. We take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Are you looking for information on marriage or tips on how to enjoy your marriage? Then look no further. ZAP has exactly what you need. We have a book that is just right for you.
The book, Enjoy Your Marriage, is written with an African touch to give you what is expected of an African marriage. You know, marriage can only be enjoyed according to a given environment. So the book, Enjoy Your Marriage, covers a lot of topics that meet the Zambian consumer, that meets the African marriage. It talks about pillars in marriage, what is important to do as you choose your marriage partner. In this book, you are going to discover the common challenges that a couple goes through. It will help you to resolve marriage conflicts in a smart way. The same book gives you some concepts, some practical steps that you need to undertake in order to resolve marriage conflicts in a smart way. In this book, you are going to discover how to manage your life in the bedroom as a couple.
So come through to our offices for our limited copies of Enjoy Your Marriage for you and your loved ones at only 150 kwacha each, or call 0978 447469 to get your copy. Hurry while stock lasts.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. This is Love Therapy. Today we are giving a dose of how to stay together regardless of what you are going through. And I've just been reminded on this program that it is open for those of you that would want to place in your advertisements on this program. In other words, you would love to sponsor this program, it is open. You are free to do so, and you can always get in touch with us here at Hope Channel Zambia. Contact details, I think, as we go along, will be given. Dr. Chunga is still with me, and we are discussing how to prevent divorce. So far, we have heard 3 C's: commitment, contentment, as well as compromise. We get back to the doc as he gives us more doses.
Oh, another dose.
Yes.
Is comparison.
Comparison.
Comparison has potential to destroy a marriage. You are always comparing your partner, maybe to your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend. You are comparing your partner to somebody's husband or somebody's wife. In the process, you won't see anything good about your own partner. So one way you can prevent divorce is to avoid comparisons. You is you. Over 7 billion people under the globe. No one is like you.
True.
You are unique, you are different. You just keep to your lane. Be yourself. Some also try to copy, to imitate other people in the manner they walk, in the manner they talk, in the manner they acquire property. They want to be a reflection of someone's life. I think life is about living it the way you are. Another critical thing that can help prevent divorce is the issue of complimenting your partner. That's another say, complimenting. Simply put, appreciating your partner.
Appreciate your partner.
You know, if you want to find the faults in your husband or in your wife, you always find them.
They're always there.
Because we are not God. We are mortal. We are fallible. We are but flesh.
Yes.
Mistakes will be there.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing that can keep a marriage going is to dwell on the positive side of life.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. I'll tell you a story of students that were doing some experiment and they found a dead donkey. And then the lecturer told the students, hey, look at this donkey, analyze it. Write only one good thing about the donkey that is dead. Some said nothing good is stinking, it's ugly, and so forth. But one student caught it from a dead donkey and said, sir, I have found one good thing. The donkey has whiter teeth than mine. They are bright, they are white. Said, that's it. In life, we just need to look at good things about our partner. If you want faults, you will find them. Here's another analogy someone gave. That a wall clock that stopped moving at 15 hours, it's thrown in the dustbin. It is useless. At least in a day, it will be correct twice. 3 a.m., 3 p.m. It will be correct. Even if it's in the dustbin, you can go and thank the wall clock for being corrected twice in a day.
Wow, that's amazing.
What more a human being? If you want to dwell on faults, you will find them. If you want to look at good sides of life, you are going to find good things in your partner.
Isn't it the nature of man really, Doc, to fail to compliment, since you're talking about compliment? Because if my partner is well dressed and they're looking good, I'll keep quiet. The day that they are dressed inappropriately.
Where are you going?
Like I always want to speak out when there is something wrong. When there is something right, I keep quiet. In line with the submission you're making about complimenting, how best can we handle that? Because by conclusion, the scenario that I've given you is that each time I'm quiet, just know that I'm happy. The moment I voice up, so I've complimented you silently.
You know, I was reading a story where this man was taught to learn to appreciate his wife.
Okay.
After learning, he said, I think let me start somewhere. So he goes home, he found a buffet. T-bone, chicken, fish, grilled, and so forth. So after eating, the guy said, at least today, let me thank my wife. He said, Danny, thank you for the food. I enjoyed it so much. But you know what? especially the grilled fish. That was top class.
Yeah.
Then the woman said, Atase, all these ladies have cooked. You are just thanking me for the grilled fish. Pound the grilled fish came from Banamutare, our neighbor here. Then the man said, then I will stop appreciating.
It's not easy.
So I think the whole picture is that when you appreciate a person, it changes behavior.
It does.
You thank your husband, you have come home already at 18 hours. You have made it so early today.
Yes.
Thank you. I like it.
I like it.
Tomorrow, you go at 17 hours.
Yes.
The other day, it is half a day.
You have no time to labor and watch football somewhere.
So, when you compliment someone, especially your partner, it changes behavior. And if we can just dwell on the positive of our partners, no, I like the way you have cooked, or thank you, look nice, and so forth. Now, these compliments should be genuine.
Okay.
Because there are some just a flattery. You don't want a controversy. And those who are being appreciated should also appreciate. But, why are you complimenting me?
Yeah, you're right.
You pick a quarrel.
Yeah,
again.
because what happened is that, I don't know if you read the story where men are in a meeting and then they are told, each one of you pick your phone and say something nice to your partner. And the responses that came were, what sin have you committed again? Because they don't usually do it. And so it becomes a challenge for this woman to say, but how come today? This doesn't usually happen. So they receive the surprise of their life, hearing something nice coming from the husband, but like you're putting it, we need to do that frequently. And I believe now, this leads to something that you've like to refer, and since it's a C, I'm going to add it, communication. So compliment is a way that you are communicating with your partner about the good things that you've observed. And I think it becomes easier for you to slot in when there is something bad. For example, if your partner has bad breath, it's never been easy to tell your partner to say, but the breath today is compromised. But if you are used to communicate on a daily basis, I want to believe that it becomes easier for me to say, okay, today there is something unusual.
Yeah, so communication is another important element that can prevent divorce.
Okay.
Couples should communicate, should talk. Now, communication is two-way. It is sharing information, whether good or bad. There's this Chinese man who goes to a filling station to buy gas. And said, can you put, how much? 250. And the petrol attendant pours in 250 kwacha petrol. After that, the Chinese guy gets 100 kwacha, na 50 kwacha, two of them. 150 kwacha, another 150 kwacha.
That's 250 kwacha.
So this 250. No, I put in 250. Bring 150 kwacha. I said, no, 250. This is 150. This is 150.
So
there was communication breakdown. Here is another scenario. Here is the wife who approaches the husband. I said, honey, you know that man by the corner, Mr. Mbewe, has been proposing, he has been advancing on me. And it is 2 months I've been just telling him, no, it can't be. And then the man said, Uti, Mbewe, that one by the corner, hey, bring my slippers. The man goes, gets an axe, knife, and starts walking to Mr.
Mbewe.
Kufika kuja, using an axe. Mbewe, open, choker. Right after my wife, the wife comes out. Where is Mr. Mbewe? No, Mr. Mbewe didn't find him. I'm told he went to the market. Tell him, I was going to teach him a lesson. Why is he proposing my wife? And kids come out and say, yeah, jeering.
Yes.
And then the husband comes back home. The wife is there regretting for telling Mr. Mbewe. Then tomorrow, the wife is being proposed at workplace by the supervisor. Do you think the wife will tell you?
No.
No, because of the reaction.
Yeah.
Or here is a husband who is asleep. 22 hours, she receives a text message from Jacqueline. Jacqueline sends a text to this married man.
Yes.
Said, Mr. Sinkos, good night and sweet dreams to you. Then you wake up and say, you wake up, Annie, wake up, look at this message. And then the wife simply says, how can a woman send a text message like you at this time? You know her. 02 Nikogona. You sleep 02 hours. Then the following day, your workmate sends you a text. Mr. Sinkos, we miss you here. When are you coming back? Are you going to show your wife? No. It's coming from a female by the name of Christabel. Definitely you will not. Now, what makes people not to communicate? The reaction we give. If we are fond of twisting issues, someone has showed you a message, then you twist it to attack your partner. It simply means tomorrow,
the
that
partner
person
will hide.
Will withhold information. She or he will be economical with information.
Yeah.
Now, the best communication that we can share between husband and wife is what we call self-disclosure, where you share your bad feelings, your good feelings about anything. You are able to open up with your partner without any defense mechanism. And when communication is cordial, in management they say communication is the arteries of the organization. So when you communicate, that's a plus on your marriage. You are driving, you are going somewhere. Why not communicate your partner? No, I'm now in Livingstone, or I have arrived in Dola. I'll spend the night here at this place, and then you proceed with your journey. But communication is lacking. One day I learned it a hard way. We were in a car, and that day we didn't have breakfast. I asked my, what happened? No, I didn't have time to buy bread. She is in charge of the kitchen. So when I knocked off, went to the shop and bought 9 loaves of bread. I wanted to show off that this issue of no breakfast because someone needs to buy bread. 9 loaves.
9 loaves.
I reached home, called the girls, come and pick. The girls come. Mommy has bought 8 loaves. We had 17 loaves of bread.
Which you don't need at the time.
There was no communication.
Yeah.
So communication is critical. Communication is so powerful in a relationship that it can prevent divorce. You know the story of the Tower of Babel?
Yes.
They were so united that they were going to build a tower that will reach heaven in case another flood came. And when God looked down, he saw the progress.
Yes.
And he said, we must do something.
Quickly.
So he quickly confounded the communication system, interfered with the communication system, and that's how the Tower of Babel stood. Communication is important. Whether you are going to town or you are coming late, whether you want to eat or not going to eat, someone is busy cooking in the home, and
you come
according
back.
to you are not going to eat. She has labored. You say, no, I won't eat.
I'm not
Why
hungry.
didn't you communicate?
You should have called.
Yes. The world has changed now.
Yeah.
We are able to communicate through many mediums.
Sure.
Many media, you can use this medium, you can use that medium, and communicate information.
That's true.
So it should actually enhance our relationship, communication.
Okay.
How do you communicate? You know, music is nothing if the audience is deaf. So communicate.
Yeah.
Let there be cordial communication so that things are done well.
All right. This is love therapy. Music is useless if the audience is deaf. If you are going to play a song, play it to somebody that can listen to it. And that's the emphasis at this particular time on love therapy. The doses that have been given this far already indicate that there is a part that you and me have to play if we have to keep our relations going. And not just going, but even getting stronger. The dose for today is how to prevent divorce. I'm with Dr. Daniel Chunga. Let's take a break. Be back on the other side.
Are you looking for information on marriage or tips on how to enjoy your marriage? Then look no further. ZAP has exactly what you need. We have a book that is just right for you.
The book, Enjoy Your Marriage, is written with an African touch to give you what is expected of an African marriage. You know, marriage can only be enjoyed according to a given environment. So the book, Enjoy Your Marriage, covers a lot of topics that meet the Zambian consumer, that meets the African marriage. It talks about pillars in marriage. What is important to do as you choose your marriage partner. In this book, you are going to discover the common challenges that a couple goes through. It will help you to resolve marriage conflicts in a smart way. The same book gives you some concepts, some practical steps that you need to undertake in order to resolve marriage conflicts in a smart way. In this book, you are going to discover how to manage your life in the bedroom as a couple.
So come through to our offices for our limited copies of Enjoy Your Marriage for you and your loved ones at only 150 kwacha each, or call 0978 447469 to get your copy. Hurry while stock lasts.
Thank you so much for still keeping it right here as we are discussing some preventive measures that we have to take in order for us to keep our marriages in shape. And already what has been established here is giving us insights of what we have to do right in order for us to keep our relations intact. It is very heartbreaking. It is a shameful thing to look in the tabloids and read that so many people have chosen to throw in the towel in their marriage because they cannot communicate, because they cannot complement, because they cannot compromise, because they cannot even commit to the relationship, and they are not even content with the relationship, and they have done so much of comparisons, I beg your pardon, and this has led into people getting different ways at the end of the day. But then if we follow what has been laid down on this program today, we can rest assured that there is something that we are going to do. In this last part of our program, Doc, what other doses should we consider if we have to keep our relationships intact?
Wow. Companionship.
Companionship.
That's friendship. You know, the best friend should be your spouse.
Should be.
There are people who hang around at the pub, in the street, at work. Some they want to share deeper information with other people. But the best companion is your spouse.
Okay.
Let us spend time having this companionship. Don't be too serious with marriage. Take your friend like a playmate. Sit on his laps, pull the beards, touch the breasts. Just be friends. Just be playmates. And that's what life should be. Sometimes we are too serious.
Too serious.
You are driving, the wife is busy on WhatsApp, the husband is busy steering, or you are in the sitting room, both of you are seated with these gadgets that have come, they are separating homes.
People are physically divorced when they are together.
Very far, they are together but not together. They are together but not together. Here, they are watching maybe Z World or they are watching football, but each one on his gadget. Each one on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. I think couples should agree that at certain times we put away phones.
I love that one, Doc. Let me just give you a scenario of one couple. It's a pity that the woman is now late. The woman was a government worker, and the man was a clergy, a pastor. They built a house, and in the bedroom, they didn't put any socket for power.
Okay.
That house is somewhere in Minwood. There is no socket in the bedroom for power. So if they are to charge their phones at night, the phones will be in the next room where there is a socket. The agreement they have is that when we go in the bedroom, it's you and me. There shouldn't be any phone that stands in our way. So when we reach in the bedroom, let's talk. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy each other's presence. That's the companionship that you're talking about.
This is what we need to create because this world is high-tech now. Technology is so advanced that you can be together in the same room, in the same vehicle, but not together. Someone's mind is talking to someone in America, in Malawi, in Kitwe, in Ndola, everywhere. And these gadgets, if not well managed, they are going to separate us from each other as couples.
They are already doing that.
They are already doing that. And it's up to
because if it's these young couples, maybe your age, I tried several times to send you a WhatsApp message, you see it 2-3 years later because you're not frequently on social media. But the young couples that we have today, we spend time on social media. You find one as late as the time that I was on my way from Livingston, coming into Lusaka because it was at night, and so I was on Facebook, and I was amazed to see the number of people that were online as late as 01, 02. And I check around because they are my friends, I know them at a personal level.
They are married.
They are married. And then I even made a post to say, those of you that are married and are online, what are you doing? Then somebody said, but what are you doing also? so basically what we are saying is we spend so much time on these gadgets, and at the end of the day, we do not have a closer relationship with our partners.
So there be deliberate discussions. Yes, these gadgets are good, but when a couple is busy moving from this media platform to this other one, they can't even talk. Maybe you ask a question, it is answered back to the phone. It is putting people asunder. There must be a deliberate step that couples should say, okay, when they are working different places, they knock off, maybe even 1 hour quality time, talk about business, talk about investment, talk about children, talk about your retirement, talk about finances, talk about family issues, and then you can simply say, after that, we'll go back to our phones. Without that, we will be shocked. I remember in one forum where we are waiting for the guest of honor. We are in this room, each one seated on the sofa. From nowhere, there was total silence. Each one of us on a phone. Some few years ago, I was in China. I got on this train. No one is talking. No one. Each one on a phone. Now, you do think people are dumb. Yet the social media has
engulfed their time.
Now, concerning companionship, let's not treat each other like uncle and aunt. Husband and wife must find common ground where they can laugh, just crack jokes. And you know, when the bone marrow is, you are laughing, even your immune system improves.
But it's rare that couples really, Doc, would interact at that level, because it's always been said that when there are two people in the car, a man and a woman, and they're not talking to each other, then it's a couple. It's married people. But when one is driving and there's another woman and there is a conversation there, then it's just a girlfriend. I don't know where the problem is. You are talking about companionship, but majority of our relations with our partners are somehow not indicating that. If you are to teach your wife how to drive, you fight throughout.
Oh yeah. I have a friend who went out to teach his wife how to drive. She came back on foot.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So the question really is, have we valued the relationship that we have? Not just when we are dating, because I think people love and play a lot when they are still dating. The moment you stand on the altar and pronounce them husband and wife, just give them time. They will not even have time to call each other when they are at work to say, I just wanted to check on you. But see how many times these in relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend, will call each other. Just check on you. They don't really have anything to really discuss, but they'll still find time to talk to each other. But after marriage, or could it be that it's a notion that when you want to catch a fish, you put a worm, and after that, you're no longer interested in feeding the fish because it's already in your hands?
So, in line with relationships, if we are to prevent divorce, let us create that rapport between husband and wife.
Yes.
That companionship where we are comrades, we are friends. You don't just communicate by passing information. Let's crack jokes. Let's laugh. Let's go out and play. We are so closed up. We are so closed up with activities, with investment, with the retirement plans. Sometimes we can relax, remove shoes, go to the beach, go out.
We don't have beaches in Zambia.
Yeah, we don't have, go to any swimming pool. Just relax, even under the tree, where you put your mattress or chairs and relax in this hot sun, cool down, and just enjoy life.
Yeah.
And furthermore, in trying to prevent divorce, another element is important: consulting. Now, when we say consulting, there are times when marriage is quaking.
Yeah.
It's shaking. You may need to consult someone. You have to be careful. Sometimes we want to ask our pastor, our elder, our counselors, who may have worse problems than yours, except that they have not yet told you. I heard a story of an old man that was considered a wise man. The wife goes to complain to the old man, my husband is coming home very late. Said, oh, what time does he come? He comes home about 22, 23 hours. Okay, come with your husband, I'll talk to him. They go there, and the old man said, your wife is complaining that you go home late. From today, instead of going 22 hours, go early, 03 a.m.
That's weird.
So when you are consulting over something that is happening, sometimes if you consult with people that are not professional, they will betray your trust. You hear it somewhere else. In as much as the two of you have differed, if you are not willing to listen to each other, even if a third party comes, you will not listen. So swallow your pride, talk, and just do what is right. If you are to consult someone, the best is to agree, the two of you. Can we engage this one to help us? Okay. When the two of you agree, then you go in like that. Then you go alone, he is going to accuse you, but why did you go and call that man? There's something between you. Why did you go and call that woman? So the two of you should agree. Who should we engage? There are times when we want to report our spouses to our relatives. And those relatives not keep that issue. Yeah. It will also what? Go.
Escalate.
So the best person to consult is God. Because God will not misguide you. What does the Bible say? What do the writings by those who are experienced say over this impasse that you have? So consult properly. And remember, marriage is not a contract.
It's never been.
It's a covenant. A contract, you can break it and you can pay for the costs. But when you break a covenant, you break each other's heart. This makes it clear that in this marriage, it's not about competition. It's about complementing each other.
Complementing each other.
Marriage is a covenant, not a contract. When we take marriage as a covenant, we'll be mindful of which steps we are to take, lest we hurt the heart of God by making some decisions that put us on separation as a couple.
There's quite a lot that has come out in today's discussion, Doc, and I know we haven't exhausted, but time is telling us that we just have to go. So maybe we'll continue looking at these preventive measures because they're quite important and relevant to society today. But just before I let you off the hook, maybe just as a way of finding out, because we are closing, you might want to give that as your concluding remarks. Divorce happens. Sometimes it's unavoidable. In as much as God's desire is to see that couples would stay together forever. Since now we are talking about prevention, let's agree that what we have learned this far about what we are supposed to do to prevent divorce from happening is quite a lot. We haven't prevented it because we didn't know. There was no love therapy. Now during this time we are learning that this is what we should have done. But we already went separate ways. And we realized there is something that we didn't do right. We didn't communicate effectively. We didn't consult. We didn't even commit ourselves to the relationship that we shared with our partner. Is there a way, Doc, that amends can be made and you begin to implement these things from a distance before you eventually come close?
True. There are couples out there who are hating. Some are on separation. They are deciding which way to go. Some of the issues are in the court. They're just waiting when. When you realize probably the steps you have taken are not the right ones. You have looked at the effect it may have on you, on your children, and other significant people.
Yeah.
And you feel like making a U-turn. It's not too late.
It's not too late.
And that's honorable. Because people can help you and be resilient, move up again.
Amen.
I think the critical thing is to have a big picture of marriage. To keep your eyes on the ball, regardless of any dazzling sounds around, regardless of challenges you have gone through. If you are willing to go through a counseling before someone who can just start you from beginning, you have to relate this way, this way, this way. That is honorable, and hope is not lost.
Hope is not lost.
There is still hope for anyone to make amends, because God has power to adjust us.
Yes.
By the way, we can't change our partners.
No, we can't.
It's only God
That
who
can.
can change. No wonder the Bible says, unless
God builds the house.
unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain that build it. Give God a chance and see how he can build with you. God bless.
Give God the chance and see what he is able to do. I think that's the ultimate solution to everything else that has been discussed on this program today. Many thanks for finding time to watch. We're looking forward to having you again next week as we will try and finish up the preventive measures that we'll have to take in order for us to safeguard the interests of our marriages. Remember, God desires to see a society of people that are peaceable. When we say shalom, we know that every home is at peace. I'm Bright Sinkles on behalf of Dr. Daniel Chunga, my guest on the program tonight, and many thanks to our colleagues in the technical department. Until next week at the same time, God bless and bye for now.